So I started looking for private charters. Most of the time they take around 6 people, so it works out well for us. I saw many different companies and price points, but kept coming back to one called Island Adventures that did Alligator Reef up in Islamorada. Their page said they were dog friendly and they have several different options available so you can customize your trip to suit your needs and budget. Bonus points since you could book everything online. They had great availability for our remaining 2 days, and so this was looking excellent. After some discussion, we decided that the next day, Sunday, would be the best day because the weather was supposed to be great and it would give Jay a day in between to rest before the long drive north. We were able to book a 4-hour tour starting at 1 p.m. the next day since the morning was already booked. I made sure to note that we'd have 2 adults, 2 teens, 1 adolescent, and 1 corgi, and please let me know if that wasn't okay. Turns out it was absolutely perfect. I was so grateful that we were able to book the tour for our crew on such a short notice, and I'm so glad we did. I think that if we had waited until Monday, Radar wouldn't have gotten to meet Tina. Sunday, around lunchtime, we piled in the truck and headed north to Islamorada. We got to Safe Harbor Angler House and Marina a few minutes early, so the boys played air hockey while I took pictures and Jay walked Radar. Jim was our captain, and he had help today. I guess you could call her first mate Tina. We were underway quickly and headed out toward the Alligator Reef Lighthouse that sits 4 miles offshore for some excellent snorkeling. Captain Jim pointed out wildlife along the way, which I always appreciate. The lighthouse is not named after the animal, but rather the USS Alligator, which ran aground there in 1821. The lighthouse was completed in 1873 to mark the reef in its shallow waters. They deactivated the lighthouse in 2015 and it fell into disrepair. In 2023, the lighthouse was awarded by the National Park Service to Friends of the Pool, a local nonprofit who is currently making efforts to restore and preserve Alligator Reef Lighthouse. In the meantime, the lighthouse and reef remains an extremely popular diving and snorkeling destination. You can expect to find abundant tropical fish like parrotfish, angelfish, triggerfish, grouper, snapper, and barracuda, as well as lobsters, sea turtles, stingrays, queen conch, and even nurse sharks and moray eels. We definitely saw plenty of barracuda and nurse sharks as seen in the video. According to researchers, there are 632 known species of sea life at this reef as of 2020. Jim and Tina at Island Adventures were well prepared for the trip. The boat was clean and well maintained. They had plenty of equipment available like snorkel gear, swim noodles, and a swim mat. We had brought our own snorkel gear since we were unsure if they would have small gear for the kids. It was so awesome when one of W's fins broke, so I gave him mine since we have roughly the same size shoe size. I was able to get a set of their gear, which consisted of mask, snorkel, and fins, and it was good quality and very well maintained. Some places don't do that and it's a miserable experience. Not here. All their stuff was great. They'd put the swim mat in the water, which gave us a place to come back and rest, which was well thought out and very nice to have. Despite our best efforts, Radar is not a water dog. He tolerates the paddleboards, but do not ask him to actually get in the water. His butt floats and tips his head down into the water, and he hates water in his ears. That's where he wears the life jacket. It keeps his head above water if he needs to swim. He does love a good boat ride, though, and he was here for it today. Tina is the owner of the Salty Shutter, so she was taking pictures of all our adventures the whole time. She got some really great shots. When Tina wasn't taking pictures of us mere humans, she was becoming BFFs with Radar. I have never seen him take to someone so fast. I mean, he loves attention, but he let her baby him, and he doesn't even let me do that. He is a strong, independent corgi, thank you very much. By the end of the 4 hours, I was fairly certain that Radar wanted to go home with Tina instead of us. It was wild. And as great as the pictures of the humans were, the Radar pics were the best. To be fair, he is more photogenic than we are. Shortly after that adventure, we packed up and headed over to the Islamorada sandbar. Once over there, Jim and Tina got the swim mat back out as well as the paddleboard. The older 2 boys took turns on that, while Ace swam around the area and laid on the swim mat. I went out for a while, but for some reason, even though it was shallow and should have been plenty warm, it was a bit cold for me, so I hopped out and dried off on the boat. The boys played, paddled, and swam while the adults chatted. Later on, Captain Jim and S got to talking about the military and the Coast Guard, so I know S really enjoyed that since that's his jam. Eventually, it was time to head back to the marina and end our fun trip. All in all, it was an excellent day. I highly recommend booking a trip with Island Adventures. Jim and Tina were great. The equipment and amenities are excellent and the locations can't be beat. We'll definitely book another outing with them when we're back in the area.